inductee, Phil Renzi, class of 1950. There are times when you look at players who are inducted into the Hall of Fame, this being the 11th year, and you can't understand why an athlete of this magnitude had not been inducted into the Hall of Fame earlier. As a kid growing up, Phil Renzi was a legend to us. But he had the misfortune or good fortune to play ball in the 50s and the late 40s when there were just and are just so many great athletes who played at this high school. And Phil Renzi was certainly one of them. He played in the golden age of Watertown High School athletics. He was a classic three-sport athlete, playing football, basketball, and baseball. Also serving as president of student council and class marshal for the class of 1950. In basketball, he led the team to an 11-4 record in his senior year. Football, he was co-captain of the squad that went 8-1 in 1949, losing only to eventual Class A champion Arlington. He could do it all. He threw a key block in the great win over unbeaten New Bedford. Jimmy Lopez ran for an 85-yard touchdown. Also caught 3 passes in the key drive the third quarter for the game-winning touchdown. Later on in the Pittsburgh game, he did it all again. Contributed great tackles, set up a score. He played for the great Hall of Fame coach Joe Zeno. And he was an all-scholastic. He was an all-scholastic in baseball as well. He batted over 400 in each of his years at Watertown High School. They won the Suburban League Championship and made it all the way to the state semifinals against Somerville at Grace Field. Phil Renzi, as a football player and as a basketball player, as a baseball player, was a tremendous athlete. As a football player, he was extraordinary. As a baseball player, he's on a short list as one of the greatest baseball players ever to play at Watertown High School. Injury shortened his professional baseball career. And after leaving baseball, Phil wanted to stay involved in sports, and he's done so in a significant way. He's been a very successful executive, serving president and general manager of a number of different sporting goods firms, CCM, divisions of Reebok, and Converse Incorporated, where the connection was with Larry Bird. I grew up idolizing him. Phil Renzi, class of 1950.
Hall of Famer Renzi, and one of my high school idols, inducted into the Hall of Fame. So,
First of all, I'm afraid to touch the microphone. There's a lot of people here tonight. I don't know why, but it's a great feeling. The first thing I'd like to do is obviously thank the board of directors for selecting me as a member of the Watertown High School Athletic Hall of Fame. It's truly, and I mean truly, a great honor. However, being honest as I have always been, I do have to tell you that I have one regret. I really would like to have been inducted 6-7 years ago. Mainly because, as many of my family members know and my friends out here, at that point in time I had the most gorgeous head of hair you can see. But you can't stop the clock. But seriously, I mentioned about the fact that it's a great honor, and I'll tell you why I say that. To have my name mentioned alongside the names of the great athletes that preceded me, and I'm talking about people like George Yankowski, Bill Boyce, Ski Kaderi, Benny Akili, Frank Cousino, Tommy Oates, Arthur Shannon, Henry Kasparian, Phil Stackpole, who, by the way, incidentally, is coming up later, and how we'll ever get him off the stage, I'll never know. But then, of course, there's John Delacus, who was one of the greatest linebackers of all time, and then my kid brother, Gene, who not only was a great football player, great in track, but also a two-star general in the Army. So, when I say it was a great honor, believe me when I tell you, it is a great honor. This afternoon, I had the great opportunity to participate in I guess a closed-circuit local television, cable television station here in Watertown. I think for the first 30 minutes, they had 4 football players, including my brother, who had signed professional football and played professional football. And then after that, there was another 30-minute section where there were 3 of us who had signed professional baseball contracts, Dick Shannon, Phil Stackpole, and myself. The football players did a great job. They were very, very serious, very stiff. The baseball players, we were terrific. I got to be honest with you, we had a lot of laughs because it was a lot of fun. And they asked me at the end of this 30-minute session what I thought about how it felt coming back to Watertown. And I've thought about this for a very long time, ever since I was notified that I was going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. And I started to really reminisce about the great times that Watertown gave me. Starting with the East Junior High School and going on to Watertown High School. I mean, I tell you, these are memories that my wife said to me today that I'm reliving my boyhood, and I'll probably never forget these memories. I live in Florida now, have been for 10, 11 years almost. I live on a golf course, and obviously I play a little golf. I'm retired now, and I'm a 7 handicap, and I'll chime in, I'll play anybody here in the room for $5 Nassau anytime they want to. But seriously, Watertown has been great to me. It's very, very difficult for me to comprehend the fact that I walked out the doors of Watertown High School 52 years ago. It was a bittersweet time for me, actually. The first week in June, 52 years ago, we graduated. I was happy about the fact that I was able to graduate, but I was also very sad because I had such a great time in high school. I had a lot of friends, played a lot of sports, and but I remember asking myself the question, what am I going to do now? High school is over. The fun is over. What does life hold for me now? But I got lucky. A couple of Red Sox scouts contacted my family, and they decided to send me to Augusta, Maine. I played for the Augusta Millionaires, and that's where I was very lucky. Also, I roomed with the legendary Harry Aganis, and Ted Lepsio was my roommate. We had a wonderful time. And after that, I signed officially the contract with the Red Sox and played for 4 more years. And as they mentioned, like a lot of other guys that I've heard, it ended my career. But the important thing is, I made up my mind that for some reason, somehow, I was going to stay in sports. And I did. Again, became very fortunate. And became involved with a lot of sporting goods companies with athletic footwear and athletic apparel. And unfortunately, my son, who was out here also, I got him involved, and he's been suffering ever since. But we had a great time. But I'm very, very fortunate for a lot of reasons. First of all, as we say in Florida, it's nice to be here. It's nice to be anywhere at this point in life. But I have my entire family here, which is mind-boggling. My daughters are here, Donna, Laurie, and Allison. Donna lives in Medfield, Mass. still. My other 2 daughters, Allison and Laurie, live in Naples, Florida. My son Brian lives in Orlando, Florida. My brother is here, Gene, who lives in Virginia, travels the world, by the way. My brother Rick, who also was a football player at Watertown. I don't even know if John Delacus, a great friend of mine, and his wife are here. But my best friend, my biggest fan, my wife Barbara is here. And Barbara, if you would please just stand up so I can introduce you. So again, thank everybody for being here. I thank the board of directors again for selecting me, and I will treasure this for the rest of my life. Thank you very much.